What if we actually have it all wrong? That instead of thinking life needs to be perfect and it always needs to be good, we realize that it's about holding the vastness all at once, holding the duality of life, the good at the same time as the bad, and knowing that that is exactly what life is about. I was really struggling last week, feeling like I had a weighted blanket on me that I could not take off for the life of me. And this last week, I've been really trying to take care of myself and to remind myself that those heavy periods in time are not bad, and that having heavy emotions is absolutely normal. And I've been spending the last week trying to just find that joy and that beauty again. And thankfully, this gray cloud that I felt like was following me around feels like it's starting to pass. And the irony is that last week I felt so heavy and it was so sunny and warm and beautiful out. And as this gray cloud emotionally has lifted from me, it's snowing and it's cold again, and I can't help but see the irony of that and the reminder that you can have both. You can have the hardness and the pain and the grief and the sadness and the fear, and at the same time you can still be joyous, and there can be light and there can be beauty. For me, I've been really reflecting, and something that's been helping me lift this cloud from over my head is just trying to see the beauty and everything around me as best as I can. In our life, we have this really simple life, a really beautiful, simple life of living in the mountains. We sit in tea ceremony every morning. We make delicious food. We get outside. We read books. We get to live in this beautiful home in these beautiful mountains. And yet at the same time, we have such a complex life because my husband has brain cancer, and there's so many complexities that go into being on a journey of healing cancer. And it is a full-time job managing his medicine and the medical device Optune that he uses. All of those pieces add such a level of complexity. Plus you add in all of the emotions and feelings that come with being in relationship with cancer on a day-to-day basis. And last week I was struggling so much because we had just gotten back from a trip where we got to take this break. Kyle had no appointments and we got to have this peaceful time of just being. I had this hope of coming back and carrying that through, and I had this week of pain and struggle. But I heard on a podcast this week this idea of emotional agility. The idea that we so often use simple words and the most common words to describe what we're feeling. So happy, sad, angry, mad, stressed. And in reality, there are hundreds of words that we can use to describe our emotions. And when we can really sit with it and look at those things, we can better handle them, and it makes our capacity to hold things a lot bigger because we actually know what we're holding. So instead of saying I'm stressed, you could sit with yourself and be like, I'm actually a little excited. I have a little bit of trepidation and nervousness, but that makes that stress feel way more manageable and you can handle it. For me, I've been really looking at that and why was I struggling? What was underneath that? And for me, what was coming up is this idea of feeling alone. That we got to spend this beautiful time with friends that are near and dear to us, and then we had to come home where I feel fairly alone. My family is not nearby. A lot of our friends left during the pandemic and moved to different states and or lost friends because of the heaviness of being on a journey with cancer. That makes it so much easier to say, okay, I can change that. I can build community, and that's scary and it's hard when you're almost 32 and just being an adult trying to build friendships and relationships when your life is complex. But I keep coming back to this idea of the duality of you can have the good and the bad. You can have the simpleness and the challenging and the deeply involved pieces of what make up our life. Reminding myself of that as I go on this journey of finding connection with others. And I've been thinking about this idea. The more I can become me, the more my day-to-day can look like what I hope for my life to look like. The more I attract people into my life that can resonate with where I'm at. And the more I can just lean into who I am fully. And I think we all need that message. We just have to be fully us. The good, the bad, the complex pieces of us, because we aren't one-dimensional beings. There's so many facets that make up us and that make up life. I felt last week this feeling of like, I just need this to pass. I just need this to pass. And really realizing that I just needed to be with it. I didn't need it to pass. I just needed to open to see that there was still beauty. I was stuck in focusing on only seeing the bad and not remembering that I could also see the beauty. That I can see that life still moves. And it's precious. Heavy emotions aren't bad emotions. They're just emotions, just like the good emotions. Life is truly beautiful, and I'm so grateful that we get to walk this journey. And it may not be easy in moments, and other moments may feel so easeful. And I feel like each day I'm just working on finding that beauty. The beauty and sitting for tea every day. For making our food, for getting to give my husband his medicine because that means he's alive and breathing, and so much gratitude to get to laugh with him, to feel the snow and also the sun. And it's all so beautiful, all of it. What a gift that I get to feel those heavy emotions. It doesn't feel like that when you're in it, but what a gift that I have the ability to feel the vastness of what it is to be alive. And this reminder that to feel that pain is coming from like a deep place of love, the deepest love I've ever felt. A lot of my worry and fears are around my husband's health, and what a gift that I get to love someone so much that my heart just aches at the thought of losing them. Life is a wild ride, and we can either choose to be numb to it or choose to feel it all. And feeling it all is the way that I want to go moving forward, and not feeling any which way about it and letting it be, and knowing that it's all perfectly perfect.